Welcome back to The Evolution of Formula One, the ultimate pit stop for everything Formula One. Following on from our History of Formula One overview video, here is a more detailed breakdown of the racing decade from 1950 to 1960 and how Formula One roared to life in this period. As mentioned in our previous video, in 1950, the FIA officially launched the Formula One World Championship, a series of races held across Europe, culminating in one champion. With races taking place in countries like the United Kingdom, France, and Italy, Formula One quickly gained attention, bringing together the best drivers, teams, and car manufacturers from around the world. Majority of the European drivers didn't race in the Indianapolis 500 in America. 1950, the first season and the birth of a sport. The inaugural Formula One season in 1950 consisted of just 7 races known as the World Championship of Drivers. The first ever Formula One race was the British Grand Prix, held at Silverstone on May 13, 1950. Attended by King George VI, it was as British as a cup of tea and a rainy day. The event marked the beginning of what would become an enduring tradition. The Alfa Romeo team dominated the 1950 season, thanks to their advanced Alfetta 158 car. Alfa's drivers, particularly Giuseppe Farina and Juan Manuel Fangio, set the pace for everyone else. Farina, known for his aggressive style and experience, won the first ever World Championship title by narrowly defeating Fangio, who would become one of the sport's first legends. The Alfa Romeo 158, with its supercharged engine, symbolized the advanced engineering that would characterize Formula One. 1951 to 1953, the rise of Juan Manuel Fangio and Ferrari. The next few years saw Juan Manuel Fangio emerge as the sport's first superstar. Fangio, an Argentinian driver known for his exceptional skill and calm demeanor, had an unmatched ability to control a car at high speeds. In 1951, Fangio secured his first world championship title with Alfa Romeo, showcasing the blend of skill and daring that would come to define his career. However, in 1952, Alfa Romeo withdrew from Formula One, leaving the field open for other manufacturers. Enter Ferrari. Under the leadership of Enzo Ferrari, the Italian manufacturer quickly rose to prominence. With their naturally aspirated, lightweight cars, Ferrari became a force to be reckoned with. Alberto Ascari, Ferrari's lead driver, won back-to-back championships in 1952 and 1953. Becoming the first driver to achieve this feat. Ascari was methodical and precise, known for his intense focus on track. This period also marked a change in regulations. In 1952 and 1953, the FIA switched to Formula 2 regulations to reduce costs and encourage more teams to join. While this led to slower cars, it didn't reduce the thrill of competition or the growth of the sport's fan base. 1954 to 1957, the return of Mercedes-Benz and Fangio's dominance. These were easily the most dramatic years of the decade. In 1954, Formula One returned to the more powerful Formula One specifications, and the Mercedes-Benz team made their entrance with the W196 car. Mercedes had been absent from racing since World War II, but their return was nothing short of spectacular. The W196 was revolutionary, featuring advanced aerodynamics, fuel injection, and a streamlined body. Fangio won his second championship in 1954, this time with Mercedes, and he repeated the feat in 1955, again with Mercedes, further cementing his legacy as the greatest driver of the era. However, tragedy struck in 1955 with the infamous Le Mans disaster, where a Mercedes car crashed and killed over 80 spectators. This incident deeply affected the motorsport community, prompting Mercedes-Benz to withdraw from racing at the end of the 1955 season. The crash also sparked a push for stricter safety regulations in motorsport. After Mercedes' departure, Fangio moved to Ferrari in 1956 and then to Maserati in 1957, winning 2 more championships. By the end of the 1957 season, Fangio had 5 world championships, a record that stood unbroken until Michael Schumacher's era in the 2000s. Fangio's career was marked by an unparalleled mastery of car control and a reputation for always choosing the best team. He was notorious for switching teams to secure the best car. 1958. the dawn of the Constructors' Championship and British dominance. In 1958, the FIA introduced a new prize, the Constructors' Championship, awarded to the team with the best performance across the season. This change emphasized the role of manufacturers and solidified Formula One as a team sport. That same year, another significant milestone was reached. Mike Hawthorn, driving for Ferrari, became the first British driver to win the World Championship. The 1958 season was also notable for the introduction of Cooper Car Company, a British manufacturer that pioneered the mid-engine design, placing the engine behind the driver rather than at the front. This setup provided better balance and control, fundamentally changing car design in Formula One. The mid-engine design would go on to become the standard in F1, as well as in other motorsports. 1959, the British invasion and the rise of rear-engine cars. In 1959, the small but innovative Cooper team, powered by Climax engines and led by Australian driver Jack Brabham, became a true force in Formula One. Brabham drove the Cooper T51 to victory, winning the World Championship and giving Cooper the Constructors' title, marking the first time a rear-engine car won the championship. This shift signaled the end of the front-engine era and the dawn of a new age in car design that would define the 1960s, the end of an era and the beginning of modern F1. By the end of the 1950s, Formula One had undergone significant changes, from Alfa Romeo's early dominance to Ferrari's rise and Mercedes' brief but powerful presence. The advancements in car design, team strategy, and driver skill laid the groundwork for the future of the sport. The 1950s had seen Formula One evolve from a loosely organized championship to a professional high-stakes sport with global recognition and influence. The 1950s concluded with a new generation of British teams and drivers poised to take over. The stage was set for the 1960s, an era that would see even greater technological innovations and the rise of legendary British teams like Lotus, McLaren, and Brabham. The drivers: courage, charisma, and controversy. Giuseppe Farina. Known for his unyielding determination and flamboyant driving style, Farina's rivalry with teammate Fangio was subtle but significant. While Farina's aggressive tactics won him the inaugural title, Fangio's finesse marked him as the superior driver in the long run. Alberto Ascari. Ascari's dominance in 1952 and 1953 was a testament to precision driving, but his tragic death in 1955 remains a sobering reminder of the dangers drivers faced. Curiously, he died at Monza, wearing neither his lucky blue helmet nor his usual race attire, a departure from his usual superstition. Juan Manuel Fangio. Juan Manuel Fangio's 5 championships were as much about his strategic mind as his driving skills. He was notorious for switching teams to secure the best car, a strategy that modern F1 drivers might envy, but seldom replicate due to long-term contracts. Fangio's famous Nürburgring win in 1957, where he overcame a 48-second deficit by setting record lap times, remains one of the greatest drives in history. The cars, engineering marvels, and risky innovation. The Alfa Romeo 158, originally developed in the late 1930s, the car was updated post-war to dominate F1's early years, demonstrating how pre-war engineering carried over into the new era. Ferrari's early innovations. Enzo Ferrari's emphasis on producing lightweight, naturally aspirated cars highlighted the ingenuity that would make Ferrari synonymous with Formula One. Mercedes W196. The Silver Arrows introduced innovations like desmodromic valves and a fuel-injected straight-8 engine, making it a benchmark for future technological advancements. The circuits, not for the faint-hearted. Calling the racing venues in the 1950s circuits is a little bit tongue-in-cheek. Often the only things separating drivers from death were hay bales and oil barrels. Safety was lacking considerably. Only the bravest of the brave raced like lunatics around these tracks. Interestingly, the Indianapolis 500 was part of the Formula One World Championship from 1950 to 1960 because the FIA considered it a major event that should be a Grand Prix. The inclusion of the Indy 500 was intended to unite the European and American Formula One fan bases. However, most of the European teams didn't enter. Here's an overview of the Formula One champions of the 1950s. We hope you enjoyed this history of Formula One in the 1950s. Why not jump to the next video, where we dive into the history of the first ever Formula One race in the 1950s at Silverstone. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you want to see more of our videos about the history of Formula One.